to this segment of AKT Celebrity Reads. I'm your host, Alexis K. Tyler. I want to do another reading on the 2-year-old cute little boy that's missing, Josiah Mitchell. I see after I did the show, I saw they had arrested his father. He's 23 years old, arrested him last night because of lying in writing and lying in his statement, giving false testimony to the police about the child being kidnapped when someone tried to rob him. That's absolutely not true. But he clearly is not telling them where he buried this baby at. But they clearly believe that, I think the mother lives in DeKalb County, he lives in East Point, Georgia. They believe the child is close to his house. And I knew I saw a wooded area and a lake. And someone that lives over there put a comment last night that they were questioned by the police. They were talking and confirmed to me there is a lake. And I saw it on the news. It's been on the news today. They're draining the lake. They've been draining it all day. So I don't know if they're still over there. But they said it's going to take some hours to drain it to a certain level, and then they'll be able to see better. They went to a landfill today looking for the 2-year-old and took the cadaver dogs, and they said they did not find him there. I'm looking at this reading, and when I look at the little boy's mother, I believe she's hurting, and I know she had nothing to do with it, but I think she knows something she's not telling. And I think her and the baby's father had some type of argument, a conflict, and I think there's a conflict with him and his girlfriend. I think he lives with a girlfriend, and y'all correct me if I'm wrong, if he's single or if he lives with a girlfriend, and they came down here from another state. I think I heard that, but correct me if I'm wrong. If they're from Atlanta and live here, they're natives of Atlanta, because I think I heard someone say they just got here a few months ago. Something bothers me about the father, because I believe the father is on drugs and he sells drugs. Him and this woman he's with, drug addicts and sex addicts, and look like they're also selling. They're dealing drugs, and he is a gang member. I wonder if he's a gang member. If y'all can find out or see anything on his Facebook page, Instagram, YouTube, anywhere you see something that might, for you all that know gangs or that have been in them or recognize signs and symbols or a certain way they speak. Because I'm seeing he's under a leader, but also I'm seeing he has a money problem. He has a drug problem and he has a cash flow problem. His money is moving slowly, and he's having problems with the baby's mother. So I wonder, was he giving her money on a regular basis and paying child support? And I wonder, did he have any issues with the woman that he's living with, and if this woman is pregnant? I don't know if she was pregnant or they have any children, or she lost a child, or is she pregnant right now? Because I see that, and I see the death and the depression and the possible drinking or some blood loss. So I'm wondering, is she having a miscarriage or an abortion? Is she trying to get pregnant again? Or is she pregnant now? Because there's a lot of sadness and depression around this. I think, can y'all confirm to me this? Does he have a woman and living with a woman? And when the child visited over there, they dealt with him and his girlfriend. And I believe if she didn't participate in this murder, or she doesn't, if she knew he did it and she helped him conceal the murder, this woman that's with him is not innocent. And he's trying to hold tightly to this secret. He doesn't want to admit he murdered his son or that she helped him do it. He's trying to hold that part. I don't know what he's holding back for, or he thinks he's going to get a deal, or try to get an attorney to help him with this by not telling them. There's also an older man, and there are like 2 or 3 women involved here, and one of them might be arrested with him. The other one has nothing to do with it, but like she's the mother. But then I'm wondering, how is her relationship between his girlfriend and him, the baby daddy? Because somebody's glad this child is dead. There are other people that know about the fighting and confusion, the drug dealing, this baby daddy being in debt, broke, basically have no money, but he's also a gang member trying to hustle up money and sell money, but he's some type of addict. There's also what I'm seeing here that concerns me, and there's fighting, arguments, and different problems where he had a gang of people attack him because of something that he's done, and the movement of his money is slow. So I'm really, and he's being spied on as well. So that'll make sense right now that they are surveying the area. But I'm just like wondering, why would I see something like that? And one of these women is holding secrets. So that would be the woman that, clearly the woman that he's dealing with, that knows what he did and possibly helped him do what he's done. The police are all over him, as we can see. They're all over him in this area. Somebody's gonna come in with new information. He's not sleeping. Of course, the baby's mama's not sleeping. This woman's not sleeping. I wonder, have they questioned this woman? Because there's going to be more information coming out soon. We'll be able to hear it. Information traveling through the air about this, even though he's trying to be tight-lipped. Somebody else knows what's happening, but the woman right now that knows is two women here. One is very, very emotional. I think that might be the mother. And another woman very out of balance, trying to work as well to find this child and to get more information. The other one is holding the secrets. She will not reveal the secrets. She knows everything that happened and what he did with that cute little boy, adorable little boy. I've been seeing him and he's been playing. And I'm going to tell you the significance of his clothes. Because he asked me to come play with him. And I wanted to go see him, but I didn't. I'm going to see what I can do, depending on when they find him. Because I thought it might be a good idea sometimes for me to do things like that when they ask me. I wonder, does he have a car and did he drive somewhere? And someone else, he's very emotional, very young, very stupid, very emotionally immature, but I wonder, was this revenge? I'm really wondering, was he having a problem? Did he want to get rid of the baby, or this new girlfriend he had wanted to get rid of this baby? Because he was very, very emotional and wasn't thinking well. And I wonder, had he been drinking or was he on drugs? Because I see he has a habit. Here's a problem and call himself trying to sell some to get him some money quickly. This is also about money. And this child is in this water. If this child is not in the water, the child is near the water. And a woman, there's three of them here. The woman helped him do something because she was disinterested in having a relationship with him and the child and having a stepchild. She's more concerned about money and things that she wanted with him, but wanting this child and the baby's mother out of the way. So I think the mother's not telling us, maybe she'll tell the police, but she's not telling us, was there peace between them and was he taking care of this child and paying his child support, doing everything he's supposed to do? Or did she have an issue with this child and they're lying and covering this thing up? It's something she's not saying. And this is showing that his new lover, who's only concerned with money, either she's a mother, she has a child or children, or she's going to have one. This shows the new lover helped to do something because this was a burden. She was having problems with him. And I'm wondering, is the child having damage to the head, face, neck? Was the child asphyxiated, suffocated? I don't see the child chopped up in a whole bunch of pieces. It would take more time and he wouldn't have the stomach for it. She wouldn't, she really want to be bothered with this child. I look like this happened very quickly, like boom, an explosion. So I don't know if he had a temper or an explosion of emotion. He couldn't argue with the child. The baby's only 2 years old. They don't even know it's in the world. Or did he have a disagreement with the child's mother, or a disagreement and argument with his girlfriend, or both? Because they said he took this child at night. The child had pajamas on. And I'm focusing on that side of it. And let me tell you why. Because of the kind of pajamas that he had on. He had on Bud Lightyear pajamas, which I think is a Disney character. Buzz Lightyear realized they might have used two sides of him and the different parts of this series of Bud Lightyear cartoons. Where he thought he was real, then he realized he was a cartoon. The real Bud Lightyear is based on a NASA program, was like the first or second man actually flying and landing on the moon. So that tells me we're dealing with two places here. We are dealing with the earth, which the 5%ers teach, and I don't know if the Moors also teach this, the female is earth. But if we're also dealing with the moon, we're also dealing with the womb of a woman that regulates the period. She would also be the moon. So that is also a female. We're dealing with two women here. One is earth and more solid. One is the moon, either menstruating now or mentally, emotionally unstable. I have to look at it to see when we have the next full moon. And we just came out of the Lionsgate, August 8, 2023. We're dealing with two women here that are has dealt with one man that is in the middle of this. And we're also dealing with a man, which is a real astronaut, that is based on the Bud Lightyear character, or it's like a tribute to, I think that was the nickname Bud Lightyear that this character was based on. So we're dealing with two dual personalities in a male. And the baby was wearing that. So the baby is one side, the most innocent, softest, sweetest side of the male. And then the character, the actual astronaut that would be up in space, or maybe brain not completely intact in the head, would be the true astronaut that flew up with NASA to the moon, which is to land on the female. Do you see what I'm saying? See, I'm seeing this somewhere else, totally somewhere else, because the baby has those pajamas on, which would mean if this child is physically dead, the child will also be dealing with the moon energy of two females, because he left the female mother that brought him from the astral into the moon, and to get her menstrual cycle, and then to ovulate and to be impregnated. That side, she brought it from that side from the etheric and the astral into the earth realm, the solid manifestation of the body. And then he was with the other side of his father, which is mental and emotionally unstable and watery, and his emotions, and unstable in his desire to keep the child safe and keep the child alive. And his physical life is taken, and he's with the other female that's also unstable, because if that was the case, she would have protected the child. Once she saw the nigga was unstable and told his mama, look, don't send him back over here no more. It's not because I don't want him over here, but his daddy need to get himself together, and he right in the head. He then physically left with the other side. So it was two of him there. The real one and the imagined one. The one that's more so physical, and the only one that's more etheric up in the moon space, that's 2 years old. Only been down here 2 years. So he's wearing two characters, Bud Lightyear. One is solid and tangible, yet spiritual, because it was based on a real NASA astronaut. The other one is in the cartoon realm, in the ethers, a fictitious character. The child is in between worlds again. Physical here, mental, emotional, etheric. And I saw him playing with other children. He doesn't know the difference because he's so close to the supernatural. And he's so close into outer space where NASA is. And the planes of his mind and in his whole vertebrae, and he's in the ether. So you can shift from one side, the spiritual side, to the physical side, and him not know because he's so pure. And they haven't infiltrated his mind with make-believe shit and logic shit, and that's not real, and that's play. He shifts. There's a lot of children with him that have also shifted and physically died right now, as well as ones that are coming in as they're going out. He's playing over there. He's near the father's house playing. He's not at the mother's house playing. And the mother keeps calling him. And he says, huh? Huh, mom? Huh, mommy? Mommy? Huh? And he won't come. It's not that he doesn't want to go. He doesn't know how to get over there. He's only 2. So he doesn't know how to come back to this side of town. And he doesn't understand time. He doesn't understand directions or how to turn and walk like I saw Imani. She understood direction. He has no concept of time and direction and addresses. He can hear his mommy calling him. She's crying and she's calling his name. He said, huh? He look up like the direction. He senses the voice. And then he starts back to play. And I looked at him, I talked, and he showed me a toy he liked. It's a toy I used to like. I just don't remember. I know what it looks like. I just forgot the name. I'm going to see, can I find it? And I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. He wanted me to bring the toy, and he said, come play with me. And I said, okay, I can come play with you while I'm here, but I can't travel over there right now. He wanted me to come see. And I said, I wish I could. That way you can tell me where you are. Because as he's playing, show me. It's outside. He's not in the house. And if he were, he picked the child up Thursday night. He would kind of, I guess they depend on how they kept him still and wrapped him. But I'm sure the police searched his house, so he wouldn't. I'm sure he's in rigor mortis, but I don't know if he would smell this quickly or his body would start to swell and the gases start to develop in the body, because eventually you leave a body and you don't cut it up, you don't get it frozen. And it's very hot in Georgia. It's very humid. If he didn't keep it in a cool place, eventually it's going to swell and it's going to burst. That's what it naturally does. And then the flies and the maggots, the flies are going to bring the maggots. And so I don't see this child inside of a building. This child is out and around a building, and it's around water as well as ground and trees. He's in between these worlds and he's in between these elements, but he doesn't understand. So he doesn't get up out of his body and go look at it and grieve the body and cry for the body. The transition is so fluid and it's so smooth. With someone that little, or a person that has no ego, that relaxes into it and gives into it, they flow back and forth, in and out. The child is in no pain. And he's playing. All these other kids came to get him. And it's a couple of grown people too. They came around him and they have a teacher with them. One of the teachers looks white, very pale, like a Pleiadian. One looks like it's from Sirius, and one looks like the Dogon. So I don't know what the child's bloodline is, but I saw the father, and the father looks like a different. ethnic group than the mother. The phenotypes are like night and day, and I know the phenotype does not determine the blood, but I'm looking at blood, and when I see these beings, they look like extraterrestrial beings, and the one looks blue black with real white sky blue eyes. This is a etheric being, and then the one is very pale skin, like a Nordic type of look, with the same type of sky blue eyes. Look like they have light bulbs in his head. They're glowing so much. He's with these children of different colors and different races. They go to school, and it looks like they are picking him up so he could go to school. He's excited, and the kids are grabbing him and they hug him like they knew him before. He's hugging them. He's happy to see them. But down here right now, they're not left yet. They're playing. They're skipping around. They love the what do you call it? They love the weather on the earth, or at least they like it in Atlanta. Down here, they love the ecosystem. Um, they love the temperature and the atmosphere, because some of the places they go doesn't always have a sun. Sometimes it's just very cold, or sometimes it's too hot, or it's desert terrain and it's dry. They like the moisture climate of Georgia. I've never seen that before. I'm learning from them, and their teachers are very old, and they're from different galaxies, and they're different races, but they are not fighting. They have their own purposes, and what I think it looks like to me, they're going to stay until they ID the body, until they find his body and they identify it as his, and they place it safely. They're going to stay, the whole group, and he's going to stay, even though he doesn't understand. He can think. Like, I heard his mind. He was talking in his mind when he told me, come play with me, come see me. And I said, I want to. You're so cute. I want to come play with you. Hopefully I'll have time. We have to see how long it's going to take them to find you, and how long you're going to be here before you take off, because you're going to fly away, and I probably won't see you anymore unless they let you come back and visit. So I saw that little part. um, you said reminds you of the movie of Lovely. I never heard of that. I don't think it was the adopted. I think his mother had him. She's too close to him, and he resembles her more than his father. And I'm looking here, and I picked up the deck and I shuffled it, and it's showing me the same cards, but for some reason now I see this female is showing me this here, death at the hands of this man. But for some reason this looks a little different. This Ten of Swords came last night, and this is also, but for some reason it's showing this female was involved in this. Looks like she didn't care for the child too much. His lover, who will also lie for him when they question her. If they question her, she might end up getting arrested, because they will know that she's lying. So she will be kind of the hangman if she speaks. She best not speak, or to get an attorney, because they will know that she knows. And it looked like he was also in a three-way relationship between her and another woman, and him and this woman were fighting, and he's in a gang. I wonder, is she gang related as well? She has to know. He's a liar, a drug addict, a gang banger with no money, and a cheater, and there's conflict and jealousy. This woman is very jealous of this man. And I wonder if she thought he was screwing the baby's mother, since the baby's only 2 years old. It was fighting and conflict between them, arguments about several things. So it makes me wonder, whose apartment is that? Is that his apartment, or is that hers? And she's depending on him, because he's like a petty thief, and he's very emotionally unstable and immature and insecure. And I wonder whose car that is or who pays for it, because this man has bad character. And he's trying to detach himself from the situation and where the baby is, but he created the goddamn situation. He has another lover too, and another woman that give him money. See, and this woman's older with children. It couldn't be these two women. Couldn't be the baby's mama, because she looked like she might be in her 20s or something. This man is doing some underhanded things. And then there's another female here, these two females here, that I believe one is a mother and one is this woman who is tied up. She might go to jail if she hasn't gone already. She put herself in a self-imposed prison because it looks like she's going to stand by him, and she's going to refuse to tell the truth um, about this situation. So I just wanted to put that little bit out there, because I think this guy is a gang member and a drug dealer and a drug addict. He's definitely a cheater and two-faced and a liar. He instigated and initiated all of this, and now it's a heavy burden on him that he's a big liar. A burden on him he cannot handle. And he also has these debts from being two-faced and double dipping. And he's now, as he tried to get an attorney, he's going to try to get out of this by getting an attorney. And I don't know if he's going to try to look, I'll tell you this if you reduce my time or if you give me that. There's a blow up between him and this woman. A woman who provides for him and gives him money. But why would you go take that out on that 2-year-old? I don't want to say he burned up that child, but it was some type of blow up here to make him do what he did. And it has to do with these women. So that's why I'm wondering, something not set right with me. Did he have a fight with the baby mama, but then went over there at night to get the baby anyway? Why would you wait so late unless you working a job and you get off late and she gives him the baby with... See, you have to be careful what type of character you wear on yourself, what name brand you wear on yourself, and what type of cartoon characters and names and brands and shit you put on your children. Because when they said that, and I looked, said he had some Buzz Lightyear pajamas on, I already knew this child was probably out of the body, because you put him on clothes of a character that Disney created that is a twofold character. You have a physical character based on the life of a NASA astronaut that actually went to the moon, and then you create a twin, a doppelganger of the character of the human being that's a cartoon character that lives in space. That is an inanimate version of a human playing on the other side and acting as a mirror, a doppelganger. But that's kind of different than the personality of the astronaut that travels to space. Your body and your mind and your subconscious is designed the same way and connected to space. A lot of the elements inside of you are also on planets. They can find them. The scientists have verified this. So why would you wear things that shifts your child's mind and body and spirit and soul out of the body and moves it around different parts of it and chakras and different dimensions? And then I'm wondering if she haven't watched that cartoon, because you don't know what messages are interlayered into the cartoon and then mirror in the mind of you or whoever is wearing it, and your child thinks about this and talks about this and watches this. And you don't know on another level, they are attaching to the entities in the cartoon coming through the reflective membrane of the screen. It doesn't have to be a physical television. It could be one of the old style televisions. It could be a flat screen. It could be a movie theater screen, which is shaped the same way. It could be a telephone. wherever the image is reflecting. You don't really know what that entity is or what it does. And this child is leaving the house to leave the spaces of the physical body. This guy gets upset. He's arguing with the female for some dirty shit he did and lies he told. And I really believe it's between his mother and that other woman over there. He snaps, and I wonder, was he paying child support on a regular basis and taking care of that child? Because it was so easy for him to do that to that child. You see what I'm saying? See, this is so deep and metaphysical here. When I look at the devil is in the details here. And I'm looking at this and I'm seeing the child, and the child can talk to me. It knows it's out of the body. I said, where are you? He said, I'm over here. For some strange reason, I saw the water, the tree, and the woods, and it's a particular spot he likes. And so the children and the teachers follow him to the spot. You know, I'm willing, to be wrong about this. So I'm going to watch this and see, because I'm asking him to come, because they need to resolve this now. If he's out there, if he's alive, they need to bring him forward, drop him off, and keep going. If he's physically dead, then he needs to, his ancestors and his guardians need to bring the body forward so that we can take this to the next phase. And a mother can recognize her child, the people that love him, and give him a proper burial. I don't think it's going to be too long, but I hope it's not. He's the sweetest and cutest little thing. He's so tiny. Like, how could you do that to something so little and so cute? He looks like a little man. And the way he's looking with his mouth pulled, he told me, I want to be in law enforcement. He said, I want to be a lawyer. I was going to be a police. And I said, really? You already know that? And I could kind of see it in his face. I said, yeah, because I could deal with my daddy. And I said, oh, Lord, this little child knows something. At 2 years old, because he's only physically 2 years old. We don't know the mind of everybody that comes here and how old they really are. But this child, too, transcended 2 years old. So, and not just that, his own physical daddy, which told me he wasn't bonded to him. He had a lot of mental issues and drug issues and a liar and gang issues. If y'all can find some, Lord have mercy. Speaking of that, a lady sent me the information on the son of the man that Ugly God murdered. The one I kept talking about that was involved with it, the junior that was named after him, Ronaldo Jr. How come he has a LinkedIn page with his picture up there and publicly giving his occupation, saying he's in the U.S. Army? And the field he's in deals with education and intellect. He's not a regular soldier. And I think it says something about he's getting ready to retire. I'm going to share it when I get off of here and put it in the community forum. It's amazing that one of you went and found it. It's not a secret, but I understand the auntie didn't want to look like it came out of her mouth. So she pleaded the fifth, and we found it out anyway. He is a military officer, just like I thought. And he is he has a lot of education, just like I thought. Very arrogant, and he deals with some form of business or logistics in the military. That's the branch he works in. He's not a fighter. He deals with the educational, administrative type of business side. Very, very intelligent young man. And he's put this out here in the public for everybody to see it. So it's not a secret at all. Absolutely amazing. Thank you. I knew you all were going to help me see this and hear this. Um, Let me see now. I can look at comments because I wasn't looking because I don't want my mind to get distracted. Thank you for my cash app there. And my cash app, make it clap. Yes, I want to take this little bit so you can go over and listen to it and see what you can find out about the father for me. Because I think the father is crooked and underhanded and really not an upstanding person. It's not established financially, mentally, emotionally. I wonder where he works, what he does. I could be wrong about him, but I'm seeing a woman finances him and is covering up his sins and covering up his secrets. But on the other one, yes, with Ronaldo Sr. and Ronaldo Jr., I have the proof of what I said. He is military. He's Army. He must have been there for a while because I think he's getting ready to retire. And he thinks he's got it all together. But if he's in this, I pray that he gets exposed for helping to do that to his father. Anyway, I love you all. I'll talk to you soon.